one now.
All right, what is up, y'all? So I am SuperViperT302, and I am joined by Mario Kart 64 expert Drew Weatherton.
Hello.
He is the one who made the all cuts task, which I highly suggest checking out immediately after this run. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started with this in 3, 2, 1, go. So right from the get-go, I am going to be attempting a pretty interesting shortcut here, so let's see if I get this. Oh, I did not get the start boost. So what I was going for there was, I was trying to do a start boost into DK, and I would have been able to jump off of him and land in the tunnel below, which would have saved around 12 to 13 seconds. It's kind of tricky though. Getting the start boost timing is pretty specific, so that's okay. It doesn't waste too much time. Fake item box. Not that clean from the start.
Just sandbagging for items, really.
Yeah, got triple mushrooms, you know. It's okay though, because I am going to go for something else here. So this blue shell is going to appear here on this balloon. There's always a blue shell on the item box on this balloon, and I'm going to try to see if I can nab it here. Got it, nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about the main driving technique you're going to be seeing me do here. This is called a mini turbo, where I'm oscillating the control stick back and forth as I'm drifting, which is changing the smoke of the drift, the smoke's color, and when it reaches orange, I can release it, and it kind of gives me a boost of speed. And it's the key mechanic for going fast in this game. There's a lot, due to frame dependency, it's actually a lot more difficult than you'd think to do optimally. So that's kind of the first skip I'll get to show off here. So by using that blue shell, I can just hop right over the wall. And it lands me in the tunnel. That's basically what I was going for on lap 1, just to a slightly different effect. Got a lot of mushrooms this race. Mushroom is a 10% chance in first place.
And those mini turbos take 7 different steps to actually charge up and release. So it's quite complicated.
Yeah. So next course is Moo Farm, which does not have any skips or any shortcuts of any kind, despite how long we've looked. It's just too simple. The only thing I really have to worry about is the RNG moles, but I'm barely going to go near them. So I'll go ahead and talk about some of the basics behind this game. So first of all, I'm playing as Yoshi. There was a character bid war between Yoshi, Toad, and Peach, and why those 3 characters specifically is because all 3 of them are the lightweights. They all have the same top speed, and the main differences are that Yoshi and Peach are slightly heavier than Toad, so they get kind of bumped. They kind of get bumped around less by the heavier characters. And then also, another main difference is that Yoshi is quicker to select off the cart menu than Peach or Toad. Alright, I got a boo here, which I'm going to be able to use to go through these moles with no problems, because iframes. Something else I should talk about is the CPUs. They kind of rubber band in this game, but they do so in a weird way. Whenever a CPU is off camera, they can enter a draft boost state, and they can also drive through walls, which I don't think you'll be seeing too much of either of those in this run, but CPUs might be keeping up with me on some of the no-skips tracks. So far. I thought I got hit by one there.
Yeah, there's some cool videos on YouTube that let you kind of see the computer players. So they don't mini turbo one or anything. They just constantly have this draft boost coming out from the back of them, like this almost a cloud from behind them. They don't have to turn and slide or anything. They just go really fast.
Yeah, basically when they're off camera, physics stop applying to them.
Yeah, and like you said, including driving through walls.
So Koopa Troopa Beach also doesn't have any skips, but I missed the start boost. It doesn't have anything that's really classified as a skip, but it does have a shortcut and a glitch that can be used. And neither of them are classified as skips, and they're both allowed in no skips runs. So for instance, coming up is this tunnel jump, which was obviously programmed into the course. I got this red shell, so I'm gonna, or it could get lost by Toad. That works too. Okay, I just spun out by myself there. I believe that's only possible in 150cc.
Correct.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and attempt the glitch here. Let's see what I can get from this. Alright, I don't know if I got it or not, but I got triple red shells there, so I was in second. Oh my god, I am getting wrecked by RNG right now. So you're not normally able to get triple red shells in any place except you're not able to get triple red shells in first normally, but there's mismapped polygons to the right of the finish line that basically think you're behind a lap, and so you can get an 8th place item while you're there. So you could get, you're wanting to get like a star or a golden mushroom when you're on those, or you know, a blue shell. Those are always useful. So right there, I got a lightning. You cannot get a lightning in first place, but I did it because of that.
Yeah, there's basically one polygon there that's kind of mismapped, and the game thinks for a moment that you're actually in 8th place when you're still in first.
There are several courses that have the glitch too. If I happen to get a boo on Royal Raceway, you could see it there. Mario's got a star. He might cause me some problems, but he's not going to cause me problems.
Yeah. Yoshi Valley has it too, but it's not really useful there.
Okay. Something I haven't pointed out yet is these point screens. What I'm doing during them is I'm holding start and mashing A, and that allows me to kind of go through them a lot quicker. Saves quite a few seconds. And it's not something you would really know just by watching. All right, so Calamari Desert has the first major RNG in the run, so there are actually several options for how to go about this track. But what I'm going to be going for is I'm going to sandbag for items, I'm going to grab an item box and head back into 8th place, and I'm going to try to aim for a star here. So let's see what I get. All right, I got triple red shells. I might be able to do something crazy with this. Let's see what item I get here. Okay, I'm actually going to hold on to this set of triple red shells and try to get some items from up ahead. A star is the best case scenario here still, so I'm gonna see what I can get here. All right, that's fine. Since I have red shells, I can show off both shortcuts here. So this shortcut is kind of an intended shortcut. You're supposed to kind of go through the train tracks to my left and then activate a star as you're crossing by the finish line, which is an intended shortcut. And it kind of moves you forward a lot, but I'm going to take advantage of the fact that they kind of didn't remember, the developers kind of didn't remember that you can go through the tunnel the other way. But since I have these red shells, I'm going to be able to do something extra with these. So here's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive into the tunnel here. I'm going to drive all the way through it to the other side here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire off all 3 of these triple red shells, activate the star, turn around, and then cross over the finish line again, which will skip me a lap. I'm going to wait for the star to run out and hopefully not get owned by this train. Because if I don't wait to go back across the finish line, I'll lose my lap. And now I'm going to try to not get hit by the train. All right, whatever. I'll just wait for it. This is a cool shortcut to show off. But yeah, these red shells don't know what to do, so they just get stuck against this wall. And I can use them to kind of go over the wall like this.
Yeah, they're trying to get to the center of that track there, but there's a wall in the way, so they don't know what to do.
Yep. So, and after every cup, after the last race of every cup, I reset the console just to get me to the next cup quicker. So I don't have to watch the trophy ceremony in this category. All right, so Toad's Turd Bike has probably my least favorite shortcut in this game. If I go over estimate, it might be because of this. Let's see how this. That was on purpose. That was not a mistake. All right, that, however, was a mistake. What I'm essentially trying to do here is jump from the higher level to the lower level, like that, sort of. So that's a glitch I did call. That's a glitch I used called the Lakitu effect, where if you once Lakitu's on the screen after you go out of bounds, he actually can't pick you up again. So what I just did there was I basically beat him to the out of bounds section, and then jump from the higher level to the lower level, which is a decent time saver. But I don't know how well the lineup on that was, so I might not get this, but just in case, I'm going to play it a little safe here and go a little further, because there's something extra I can do with that. All right, it worked. So I just kind of broke the checkpoint system, because as you saw, I just jumped out of bounds there, and I just got warped halfway across the track. By doing that first jump in a specific way, you can actually break the checkpoint system here, and it kind of means I can just drive a little ways past the finish line, drive out of bounds, and then get stuck, and it just kind of warps me down to this lower level.
I gotta say, I'm really liking the aesthetic improvements they've made to Toad's Turnpike since Mario Kart 8.
Glad to hear that. Bump Peach ahead of me. I don't want to deal with her.
Probably the strangest thing about this shortcut is that it was added to the game in later versions. Like they tried to fix something from the Japanese original release, and it added this shortcut in all the other releases.
Yeah,
Pretty
this
weird.
shortcut does. Yeah, that wrong warp doesn't exist on Japanese 1.0. It's really dumb. All right, so aside from a couple of hiccups on the first couple laps, that was, I'd say, around average for me. It's nice to get past that course in a run. Sometimes that first jump can really mess you up because there really isn't a visual indicator as to when to jump. You kind of have to time it and pray. So, on the other hand, Frappe Snowland has a shortcut that you can try at home and learn within like a couple minutes. Basically, all I'm going to do is turn around, head to the bridge, hopefully not fall into the water, jump from the bridge into the snow without touching the road, then cross the finish line and go out of bounds. And now look what happens in the lower left-hand corner. Go from 8th to 1st. And I'm just going to do that 3 times in a row, and that'll finish the race.
Yeah, as long as you go carefully, it's probably the easiest shortcut in the game.
Yeah, you can go risky with it if you want, but I'm not that good. And I just finished all 3 laps faster than a no-skips player could finish 1.
If you do try to use that shortcut, if you try to do it in 4-player, one of the players does get screwed on that though. I think it's like 3rd player. You just get put through the bridge and fall into the water.
Here we go, Choco Mountain. This course is a pretty well-known run ender. This is the first track I'm going to be going for I'm going to be going for wall jumps in this track, and wall jumps are pretty fickle in this game. So I don't, Drew, you want to provide a little bit of insight on them?
Yeah, I think you have, depending on your line, depending on how you're approaching the wall, there's like 1 or 2 frames that you could jump. But really strangely, there's times where you don't even have a frame that you could jump on. Like just then, that's called a 0-frame jump. If you hit the wall and you tumble like that, generally it means that you might have timed it right, but you did not have an opportunity to actually jump. That second time was perfectly done.
Yeah, so that's the backup jump. I'm going to be going for both of those once on all 3 laps. This course is also home to the most infamous lap skip in the game, the Weather Tanko, which I will not be going for because I don't know how to do it. All right, so I had a banana.
If you get a mushroom, you might have to go for it, you know?
All right, set up, so I'm just going to drive around. It's very easy to try those, and then you just run into that wall and get 0-framed over and over and over again, so I just don't like to bother, especially since this is a marathon.
That shroom
By the
was
way,
begging you to try the lap skip. It was just begging you.
Yeah. By the way, I know I'm in 2nd right now. You don't have to win a race to be able to move on, but you do have to come in the top 4, so... All right, there we go. That's the big jump I was going for on laps 1 and 2. In essence, frame perfect, and sometimes literally impossible.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to cause some chaos with these green shells. One of them hit a banana. 1 and 3, Choco. That's around average, I'd say. Okay, so Mario Raceway is more than likely going to be a no-skip course. If I get a mushroom, I will attempt a shortcut. There is a infamous last skip you can do here with red shells, but I don't know how to do it. So, oh wow. Okay, I'm actually going to hold on to this until lap 2, because I don't want to go for it right away. Basically, I'm going to go for a jump over that wall that you just saw me pass, and I'm not very good at it, so I'm probably going to fail it, but if I do get it, it'll save a little bit of time, and it does look pretty cool. And basically kind of go...
There's 2 versions of it. You could go for the faster one that's a little harder, or the slower one that's a little easier. But they're both shortcuts.
I'm going to go for right side, because why not?
YOLO.
Yeah, I missed it. Yeah, that's really hard. And the CPUs just steal my item boxes, because they're mean. CPUs do that to me a lot. Alright, triple mushrooms. I'm not going to bother with it again, but I just wanted to see if I could get it on the off chance that I do get it. Mushrooms are pretty useful in this track because another thing that's not a skip is you can cut corners, like you can cut across the grass here, like what I'm about to do. Okay, thanks, Wario. Okay, I really cannot finish in 6th place, but it's okay. The CPUs do kind of slow down once you go far behind them, so.
Hence the rubber banding, both directions.
Yeah. All right, there we go. That's our 2nd cup done.
And RTA timing lets you like power cycle the console right when you cross the line.
If you're going for like, if you're gonna go for like 100%, you have to wait until the names are lined up, at which point the trophy is saved to the memory. All right, so Wario Stadium can either be a really short course or a really long course. It depends on how nice the game wants to be to me today. Oh, dang it. So yeah, there's a well-known shortcut where you can jump over that first wall, but you can actually jump right back over, but it's really finicky. This is another one of those really precise jumps. There we go.
Yeah, that first jump is so much easier than the second. The second one's just really fickle.
Yeah, what tends to happen in runs is I just run into that wall endlessly and never get over. I recently learned the faster way to do it. All right, that wasn't too bad. 39 seconds is actually around average for me as well. Yeah, that course can be, I've just recently managed to pull my first sub 20 on that track offline. It was pretty sick. So thankfully we made it out of there all right. All right, Sherbert Land does not have any shortcuts or skips, so this is just a no-skip track. Worth noting is that the penguins are on cycle, so I just gotta make sure I stay out of their way. And also, if I fall into the water, it's an extra big time loss on this level because you turn into a frozen ice cube, and like G2 takes a couple extra seconds to pull you out and stuff. Although, I guess I should say most tracks that I say are no skips tracks do have skips, but only with tasks, as Drew knows.
Yeah, no skips RTA, I guess, right? But there's actually at least 2 shortcuts on this level, but they are really task only. And generally that means they require jumping off of other computer players, which is just not reasonable to do in a run. Because you don't really know where the players are going to be.
There's a couple of consistent setups for some CPU jumps, but only just like 2. So yeah, it's possible to break the checkpoint system in this track as well, but only if you get to the island in the middle with mushrooms and red shells. So not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's frankly very hard to do with tasks, so yeah.
And so
I wonder why Frap Snowland doesn't have you turn into an ice cube. You know, when you mention that, it's like, this is just a colder course, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess this course is more ice and Frappe Snowland is more snow.
Must be.
Alright, so yeah, some suboptimal driving, but for the most part, I don't think I hit any penguins, and I think I only just spun out at one point. I didn't drive into the water right after I didn't drive into the water after the finish line. This run is invalid.
Yeah.
Alright.
Reset.
Yep. This game is extremely brutal to run. There's a lot of RNG, a lot of frame perfect tricks everywhere. It's really brutal to run. It's hard to get a good run of. All right, so Royal Raceway is... Sorry, wow, I was listening for the audio and I still messed up the start moves. Making a lot of weird mistakes this run, but yeah, Royal Raceway has... Wow. All right, that's my vengeance there. Royal Raceway has a pretty interesting little shortcut here where I'm gonna kind of hop across the river here and hit to the right of that polygon line, which makes the game think I attempted to jump from this ramp and missed. Just kind of skips you all the way across the track. And I'll be going for that on all 3 laps. There is another shortcut you can do on that ramp where you jump off to the left and get like Pichu to place it around the last corner, but it's extremely risky and difficult and only saves like less than a second, so I don't bother with it. Luigi. Wonder what was Luigi doing all the way back here?
Yeah, that was really weird. He's really far back. Sometimes the computer players can take a shortcut on this course by driving through a wall by accident. They end up on the ramp, but then after that they just totally mess up and then they lose time. So that's probably
Yeah, there's a glitch in this game where if like T2 picks up a player and then is unable to place them down, he default warps them to the finish line, and that can happen in a couple places in this course.
Yeah, that if you do it as a player, it helps you here.
Yeah, but I don't. I have gotten it once, but I don't think it was in a run, and I don't go for the ramp jump anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, I got that jump 3 for 3. That's pretty hard to do without setting it up, so I'm happy that that went well.
Watch what happens to his car when he goes over this ramp. That you know, that trail of clouds. Like I said, that's what the computer players are doing non-stop when you're ahead of them. You're just like boosting along, no matter what they do.
Also, I should point out, when you're on one of those ramps, you're invincible, and nothing can harm you. So I don't have to worry about a banana being on there or like a fake item box, because I'll just pass right through them without any problem. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to Bowser's Castle, which is once again an RTA non-skips track. The only thing I really have to worry about is the thwomp cycles, which can vary depending on how fast or slow I'm going. So this is probably a good time for donations or announcements or anything, if there are any.
Cool, yeah, I was actually just about to ask. Got some stuff to plug. So currently sitting at $451. That's only $50 away from 500, halfway to our goal, and level 4 target test in Project M tomorrow morning. With that $50 that we still need to bring in, we are only $64 away from cutscene percent, which is coming up soon. Y'all really don't want to miss these cutscenes. Like, I can't emphasize it enough. The cutscene percent run is amazing and wonderful. And then after that, we still have the Pokemon Red and Blue softlock percent incentive. That's $100 off. For Bid Wars, we still have the Project M in-game tag for the target test run tomorrow. The current winning tag is OxyClean at $2. We also have the outfit choice for Hello Kitty Roller Rescue. No bids have been placed on that yet, so if you have a preference between denim or swimsuit, make your voice heard with your cash. And the final bid war of the marathon is going to be the Mother 3 character naming. You can name Lucas, Kumatora, Boney, Duster, Klaus, and Flint. I think that's all I have at the moment. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. We're Speedruns Rochester, a Rochester, New York speedrunning organization. During the academic year, we meet weekly to hang out and speedrun together. We put on events like this one that you're watching, and like our 2017 Extra Life charity fundraiser. This event is going to help us buy marathon gear like fancy audio equipment and a dedicated PC to help us improve the production quality of our events. Okay, that's all I got.
Alright, so that was a pretty decent Bowser's Castle. Right, so last reset of the run, and now we will be moving on to the Special Cup, which is another really entertaining part of the run. So something I was doing a few times in Bowser's Castle, and that might be relevant in this track because this is the laggiest course in the game, I was holding an item behind me and zooming out the camera, which for whatever reason reduced lag.
Yeah, pretty counterintuitive, right? You're showing more on screen and it's going faster.
Alright, so DK's Jungle Parkway has a pretty neat lap skip I'm going to go for here. Gotta line it up, and then what I'm going to do is drive through this wall because it doesn't exist, and then drive past the finish line. You can land back in the cave, but doing this is fine as well, because you still skip an entire lap. It's pretty similar to what happens on Frappe Snowland, just in a different sense. Yeah, you need to have a pretty precise lineup in order to land back in the cave, like I just did there. I was a little too far to the left there. Gotta do this one more time. Hopefully it doesn't take me terribly long. That was...
Oh man, wow, that was rough.
Luigi went ham there. It's always fun reacting to what the CPU players do. Alright, this should work. Alright, this is fine. Not exactly the best DKJP ever, but it works out just fine. Okay, hopefully I get a banana here. Oh, mushroom. Whatever. Still saves time. Okay, so Yoshi Valley. This track, it goes a lot of ways depending on what you go for. I'm actually going to do something different than what I normally do here. I'm going to go for kind of a more consistent route. But how the first 2 laps should be static, but the 3rd lap can vary depending on what items I get. So this track has actually changed a lot in the past couple of years. We used to farm for triple mushrooms and go for a lap skip 3 times, which was terrible. But now we have an RNG safe route. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going...
Zach Abney discovered that.
Yeah, so I'm taking this right path, which is the slowest path in the game, but this breaks the checkpoint system for absolutely no reason. And it allows me to, if I line this up right, jump off here, and then it skips a lap. That only works if you take the far right path. So obviously that's pretty useful. I also unfortunately did not get any sort of useful items, so unless I happen to get a 10% chance of mushroom here, I'm actually going to have to do that skip again. Oddly enough, though, a mushroom is not the lowest probability item you can get in first place.
Yeah, that's a boo. And I think a banana bunch as well.
And red shells, they're all 5% chance.
All right.
And when you use a boo in this game, in GP mode, it functions exactly like a normal item box. You're not stealing items from the CPUs. Although you also have a 20% chance of getting nothing. Okay, so up next is Banshee Boardwalk, and this track also does not have any skips, but I'm taking a look at the CPU rankings here, and I'm noticing that I have Wario in the top 4. Now, this is important because what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to have Wario win the race, or any of the heavyweight CPUs, and by heavyweights I mean Wario, DK, and Bowser. I need one of them to win this race, and then I need to get 3rd. Because if I do that, then I'm basically setting myself up to do something pretty neat on Rainbow Road. But obviously that requires the CPUs to behave. And that's pretty difficult to have them behave in your favor. But it looks like I think I might have one of the... Typically when I select Yoshi here, I'll have Wario and DK as at least one of my rivals as one of them. And it looks like I have DK as one of my rivals at the moment, and maybe Wario, because Wario seems to be going pretty ham.
I think DK was second on DK Jungle Parkway. So
Yeah.
be rooting for either of them to come in second here. Or, well,
Can we get some DK things in the chat? Anybody has the FFZ mode or whatnot? Oh, dang it.
you can see how he's just hanging right on. Yeah, you got a peak of just the kind of speed these guys carry.
Alright, now I got both Wario and DK, so now one of them is basically guaranteed. Unless Toad decides to go all in. Yeah, the RNG that determines this is actually on the character select screen. There's a counter that's... I think isn't it that there's a counter that's going, and that once you select your character, it chooses 2 CPUs that are your rivals.
Correct.
So they'll have like the best
primary and secondary rival, right?
Alright, so...
And those are the ones that will play much better than everyone else.
Alright, so it looks like I'm going to have one of them taking the lead here. Wario is pretty close to me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually wait at the finish line. I'm going to have Wario finish. I'm going to wait for DK to come in and finish also. And then I'm going to cross the finish line and get 3rd. So this kind of wastes time. But I think it'll be worth it in the end. So I don't want to spoil what's going to happen, but basically what's going to happen at the start of the next lap is I'm going to be holding A, B, and left. And that's different than what I normally hold, so what am I going to be able to get out of this? You'll find out.
Start boost.
Got it. Spiral, 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 spiral. Yes. All right.
Nice.
So thank you, Wario, for helping me out there, bud. So, oh yeah, I gotta feed DK here. He made an effort. So do you want to kind of explain CPU jumps while I try to get a green shell?
Sure, yeah. So this is where it's important to be a lightweight character. Not only are they the fastest, but they also kind of bounce the most off of another character. And DK, Bowser, and Wario are all the heavyweights. I think Bowser is actually slightly taller, which can sometimes help with some of the jumps. So there's two different types of jumps, CPU jumps. One where you get jammed into the ground and kind of bounce back out, and another where you actually just bounce over the other character. And depending on what you're looking, oh, perfect.
I'm gonna do this here. There we go. So this is going to accomplish something similar to what you saw on Frappe Snowland and DKJP, where I'm going to cross the finish line by falling, use those green shells to throw me over the edge there. And now, once Laikichi places me back down, I'm just going to be an entire lap ahead, which gives me even more time to do the exact same thing again. Hopefully the CPUs don't mess me up. Perfect.
Nice.
So time is going to be coming up here pretty soon. It is going to be when I cross the finish line. So Proto or whoever's in charge of the timer, get ready for that on my mark.
Yep.
All right, you ready? And time. That was a gold split. All right, so my timer says 31:25. Is that somewhere around what you said?
Yeah, we got 31:26 over here, give or take a little for RTMP delay. You're probably more accurate. Either way, good job.
Yeah, so just a few plugs I want to make now. He's in the chat right now. Follow Abney317 if you want to see someone who's better than me at this game. He is the current world record holder for skips. He's the current world record holder for this category and is also just a good Mario Kart 64 player in general. Also, as I said it before this run, go watch the All Cups task that Drew himself made. It is insane and is definitely worth 20 minutes of your time. And also, if you're interested in running time trials for this game at all, go to MarioKart64.com. I myself don't run time trials, but I think there's still a pretty active community for them. Somewhat.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
so...
world records happening every week, so yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this is one of the most well-pushed games out there. And yeah, so this is my last run for the event. I hope you enjoyed me while it lasted. Thanks Speedruns Rochester for having me. Thanks for Drew for the co-commentary. That was quite insightful. And I am done, so I will let the hosts take it over.
Thank you very much for giving us 4 wonderful runs this weekend, Super Viper. Cool.
Oh, no problem. I'm surprised all 4 of them got accepted in the first place.
All right, well, I'm going to take things back over to the break screen here, and then we are going to set up for the one and only